Joe Biden, according to the laws of, or the system of the transference of power, he can't nominate someone else. Like, he has to demonstrate his faith in the democratic system. So when he steps down, there's only one person that he can actually endorse.
That's exactly right. And I'll add
that's
something.
his vice president. If he were to endorse anybody else, that's basically saying,
scandal.
I don't believe in the democratic system.
Yeah, scandal.
Because if he's shot, or if he has a heart attack, or if he's lost in some tragic accident, guess where the country falls? Just like it falls to her anyway. So he has to follow that process just to demonstrate his loyalty to the democratic system.
That's right. And I'll add one thing. The Republican Party is far, far more likely to nominate an outsider than the Democrats are. The Democrats have made their system so that it is impossible for an upstart or an outsider to win the Democratic nomination. In 1972, Richard Nixon was afraid of running against Edmund Muskie. Muskie had been the senior senator from Maine, and he was the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Everybody loved Ed Muskie. He was the vice presidential nominee for the Democrats in '68 with Hubert Humphrey. He later actually became Secretary of State under Jimmy Carter. But anyway, Nixon was worried about Muskie, and he was worried about Kennedy. But then Kennedy killed Mary Jo Kopechne, and, well, he killed Mary Jo Kopechne, and Kennedy didn't run in '72. So Ed Muskie is a threat to Richard Nixon. So Nixon had the plumbers, spread a rumor about Muskie's wife. And Muskie gave this famous press conference in the snow, and the fact that it was snowing becomes important, in New Hampshire, where he defends his wife. Now, the conventional wisdom is that he began crying in this press conference. He says that a snowflake landed on his cheek right under his eye and melted, and it looked like a tear. Okay, you look at it, he's clearly crying because he's so insulted that his wife was insulted. They called her a whore and all kinds of stuff. And everybody's like, oh my God, Ed Muskie's a crybaby. We can't nominate him for president. And so he drops out of the race. Then you've got Eugene McCarthy saying, hey, remember me? I got a third of the vote against Lyndon Johnson 4 years ago. People are like, yeah, but you're kind of a closet communist and you're a hippie and we can't do you either. And so George Wallace is like, what about me? I'm a Democrat. No, you hate black people and you're a racist. We can't nominate you. And all these Democrats are jumping in. And then George McGovern, all of a sudden, starts winning delegates. Nobody wanted George McGovern to be the Democratic nominee.
That's what you're seeing happening with Kamala Harris right now.
Exactly.
The president stepped down. Mm-hmm. He only has one choice. He has to endorse the vice president.
He has to.
And then the Democratic National Convention and the party.
There's no George McGovern.
The party can't stand opposite of the democratic process. Mm-hmm. So where the fuck else are the delegates? Like, who's not going to support Kamala Harris of the party?
Precisely.
So the delegates all say yes. All the other people who were trying to run for Democratic ticket, they're all going to say yes because they don't want to be blacklisted and not get to run in the future. Mm-hmm. The American people haven't had a chance to vote yet.
And this is why the Democrats created the system of superdelegates.
Right.
After 72, they said there will never be another George McGovern. We're going to make these superdelegates so every Democratic elected official at the federal level and every Democrat in the state party apparatuses will automatically become Democrats, and they will, by their very nature, endorse the party candidate. So Kamala Harris was already nominated, yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, in a Zoom call. Seriously, front page of today's New York Times. So the convention next week is just for show.
Now let's take this conversation back to where John and I started. Mm-hmm. Are we ideologically driven by rule of law?
No.
Or are we just promising one thing and doing something different on the back end? Right? And that's what's happening right now. Is the opinion of the American people is being shaped in favor of Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Right. Because she doesn't have anything of her own to stand on.
3 weeks ago, she was polling lower than Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Today, she's the savior of the Democratic Party.
Right. It's crazy how the public opinion has shifted and the media has shifted.
The public opinion has not shifted yet. There is no voice to the public opinion yet because they haven't cast a vote. That's what's so fucking important, dude.
Right.
But you're right.
Talking about the media.
The amount of advertising. Here's the thing that makes me laugh the most. When you look up anti-Harris videos, when you're on YouTube, anybody on YouTube who hasn't seen this, I don't know what YouTube you're watching. You'll find videos that are talking about why Kamala Harris shouldn't be president, can't be president, whatever else. And as soon as you click play, the first ad you're going to see is a pro-Harris ad. Right?
Oh my God.
Not only is their advertising so sloppy, not only are they just pushing as much out there as they can, because they have $100 million in the bank for the Biden-Harris campaign.
Right.
It's really easy to make ads for Kamala Harris because they're just B-roll. They're B-roll and her saying a message.
Right.
It's much harder for people to do anything for Trump. Yes. Let's test this right now. Can
Let's
we
watch
test
one.
this right now?
Yeah, let's watch. Yeah, we don't have. Oh, he's on premium.
I already searched.
He's on premium, so
search
we won't get
results
the ads.
I just type in 2024 presidential ad, and Kamala Harris is the.
Well, we should just search for just Kamala Harris, right?
Yeah, do a search for something like Kamala Harris should not be president.
Okay. Kamala Harris.
See what
comes up. Okay, why Kamala Harris should never be president. Now let's click on that, and I want to see what the ad is.
So there's not going to be an ad.
there's not going to be
on
ad for that.
premium.
We're on YouTube Premium.
Son of a bitch! You just
Can you sign out of Premium? Is there a way?
I can find.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So your point is, like, if they were actually paying attention, they wouldn't be targeting hater videos on her for their own ads.
Exactly. That's the one person you're not going to convert, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's clearly we need to blow as much money as possible.
Right.
And we need to pump it out quickly because what do they know is happening? They know that the Trump campaign is changing all of their messaging now to attack Kamala Harris, which is why you're not seeing a lot of Trump ads. You're not seeing a lot of anti-Harris ads because
They're working on them.
They're making them. Yeah.
And you can't.
You're right.
They're in production.
You can't come out with one ad every week. You need to come out with like 12 ads at the same time so that you and I and all the American people see the same ad.
Yes.
So I'm saying that because public opinion is currently being shaped, and this is how it is being shaped by the process that we have made our electoral process, right? We have made it so that the far left and far right have already made their decisions. It's all the unnamed voters in the middle who have yet to decide. And up until 3 weeks ago, their decision was between two old white men.
You're absolutely right. And you go on a lot of these sites. I do this every year just for fun, just to see what the result is going to be. The Libertarian Party always has one of these Q&A things where they'll ask you about all the major issues of the day. You click on what your position is, and then they'll place you on a graph to show you, are you progressive, are you conservative, are you libertarian, are you statist, and they'll tell you which candidate you most closely align with. I consider myself to be a part of the libertarian left, right? And I always, always, always match almost perfectly with the libertarians. Always. Not with the Democrats or the Republicans. And then second is like usually, the Greens or something like that. But everybody should do that. I remember asking my own mother.
You mean voting your conscience?
I know, right?
Everybody should vote their conscience.
Well, you know what they say, the lesser of two evils is still evil.
It's true. It's true. But all of that is to say that what you're seeing right now, Americans are interpreting the support of delegates and the support of delegates, the support of donors, the support of whatever, the influx of donations. They're interpreting that to be support and unity behind a candidate.
Right.
It is not.
No, it's not.
It is a practiced behavior expected of you to survive inside the Democratic National Convention's system. If you violate their system, you will be taken out of that system and you will not have a chance in the future.
And interestingly, the Democratic system of nominating a candidate is far less democratic with a small d than the Republicans.
Yeah.
Far, far less.
You don't have a choice. Like unless you are registered and identified and groomed and invested and show loyalty and have a history of whatever, you don't even get the opportunity.
Sounds like a cult.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yahtzee.